Welcome back to a very angry trumpet. To unlock this thing, you can go ahead and complete a seasonal championship called Nissan EaZy. If you ask me, it's quite the fun. The stats of this thing are quite something, starting off with 420 brake horsepower, 384 foot-pounds of torque, while weighing 3,704 pounds. It is very, very hefty indeed, with a 3-litre engine. Now, this doesn't really look too different compared to the normal 2024 Nissan Z. I've got to say, I do like the little red accents around the bottom and the slightly reshaped front bumper. Going to the back, it's a little wider at the back, and it's also got that cool looking little wing, which I do actually kind of prefer the Nismo Z compared to the regular Nissan Z. Going to the inside, it is well, pretty much the same as the Nissan Z, but I've got to say, it does look so cool. And now let's go ahead and take a listen. So here we're now in the upgrade shop. The first thing you're doing is jumping straight over to conversion and also over to engine swaps. There's a very cool button, but we'll have a look at that in a bit. In terms of engine swaps, we've got ourselves a 3.2 litre inline 6. We've got ourselves a 6.2 litre V8. We also have a 2.6 litre inline 6 twin turbo. We've got the 3.8 litre V6 twin turbo and also the racing 3 litre inline 6 turbo as well. As for drivetrains, we can make this thing all-wheel drive should we so wish to, and we will be doing that just a little bit later on. But now it is time for the thing we've all been looking forward to, and that is the Liberty Walk wide body kit. And I've got to say, oh dear me, it makes the front of it look like a mouth. I'm honestly not going to lie, it looks a little bit like a shark if you think about it. I mean, let's just go ahead and go to normal, and then back to that. It does look a bit like a shark, and also kind of the front of the Lamborghini Aventador. Okay, that might be a bit of a stretch, but I'm sure you can understand where I'm going with this. As for aero and appearance, we've got quite a lot of stuff. We, of course, have ourselves the Forza front splitter. Going to the back, we've got ourselves a Liberty Walk wing, which actually, that kind of works, kind of doesn't. I don't really know what to think about that. I mean, it's cool, but like, I don't know. We've also got the Forza rear wing, and also the option to take the rear wing off entirely. As for the rear bumper, we have got... wait, well, hold on. We have an option for a tow hook now? Hello? And for the front, we have the option to go ahead and add little hood pins to the front of this thing, which is actually kind of cool. I don't know why, but I kind of like it. In the meantime, our wonderful mechanic Mac has been busy putting together a tune for us. Let's go ahead and bring up the share code. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab it for yourself. And now we're also going to go ahead, download it, and see just how good it is. So with those upgrades applied, we are now at £2,851 with a little less horsepower, 321, but we are at the top of A class. So here we are now over in the paint shop. Let's go ahead and take a look at advanced. We've got nothing in there, sadly. And going into manufacturer colours, we've got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones to choose from. And I've got to say, I kind of like the white. And now we wait an age for the paint to save. So with the half shark dolphin looking thing, we have now got all the upgrades applied. The paint is there. I've just had to restart my console because the game decided it had enough of functioning. But let's go ahead, load ourselves and the apparent 7th generation Nissan Z into a race and see how well we do. And away we go, starting off in 8th, and now we've got an aim to get this thing all the way up to 1st place. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed, because I was told this thing doesn't really have much in the way of top speed, but it has all of its skill points tuned straight into handling, and apparently that is very much true, because this thing it kind of took that turn pretty well indeed. Now, a couple of interesting things I've learned about the 7th generation Z, also the Nismo Z here, is apparently they were never really intended to be in the UK or Europe, so that kind of makes them rare already. If you do spot one over here, it's going to be a miracle. But also, what makes them even rarer is there are only 1,613 of these cars ever made general, really. It's kind of interesting how rare the Nismo Zs are. As for the regular ones, I have no idea. And then we move on to cost, which is $65,750 which is honestly absolutely insane. Also, we'll go ahead and just take first real quick. And if you want to know what that price is in British pounds sterling, then here it is. Now, while this Z is not exactly the fastest thing on the planet, I was going to say you turn well, but apparently now you go and disprove me. Great. Anyway, 95%, we've got one more turn to go. The finish line is right there. There's literally nobody behind us, and across the line we go with a rather nice first place indeed, and a time of 2 minutes 9.563. So that was quite the race indeed, and I'm honestly pretty proud of how this little car's done. However, now we go ahead and dive into the backstage voting to see what we've got. We've got ourselves the Jaguar F-Type SVR and the Audi TTRS from 2020, and we also have the Mercedes-Benz AMG SL63 alongside the Alpine A110. This is honestly kind of a tricky week, especially given what's going on with Jaguar at the moment, but I've got to say, this was from their better car era, so I'm still going to hedge my bets and vote for it. Do you agree? Let me know what you pick in the comments. So, seen how good this thing can race on a track, but now how good is it at racing in a straight line? Because Mac has gone back and made a drag tune for us. Let's just go ahead and bring up the share code for that very quickly. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself, a bit like I'm about to do. And a fun fact, this tune was made whilst I was filming. So as you saw me apply the other tune earlier, this tune was already in the works. So with all these upgrades applied, this thing is now at £2,944 with a whopping 1,270 brake horsepower. This is going to be insane. So here we are now over at the back of the festival. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a wheelie check out of this thing. And oh wow, okay, okay, I was not prepared for that. You could say that was wheelie good. Yeah, I know the pun was bad, I'm not sorry. Well, I think I might have driven into the middle of something, but let's go ahead, get ourselves on some launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and see what we can get through the camera using this tune and this car. 1,270 brake horsepower, a couple of auto-zams being auto-zams on an Aston Martin, 203 through the camera and off the end of the motorway or runway at 225, and absolutely zero brakes. I think that was the most chaotic drag race I've ever had. However, now it's time for us to take the reins of this almighty thing. We're going to go ahead and throw in the 3-litre inline-6 Racing 2JZ. We are also going to go ahead and upgrade this thing to a stupid amount of power, and we're also going to go ahead and try and make this thing a really good top speed build. How well it'll do, that'll be a mystery. Another fun part is I've got to sit here and tune 7 gears. I'll be right back. In the meantime, here is this week's Forzathon shop. We've got ourselves the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. We've got ourselves a backstage pass, the holiday jumper. We've got a Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce or Super Veloce. I don't quite know which way to say it. We also have the red nose little addition there. We've got ourselves the Horizon Super Wheel Spin and the regular Horizon Wheel Spin as well. And now, out on the motorway. And now it's time for everybody's favourite game. Am I close to the motorway? Great. The answer is, well, kind of. Anyway, here we are now over at the edge of the motorway. Let's go ahead and get ourselves onto launch control. And away we go with a decent launch as well. We're already gone through 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and probably, yep, there's 5th as well. Oh, this is going to be a very, very quick car. As to how quick, I'm hoping for at least 250. And out of the speed zone at 255, exactly 255 out of this thing. That's not bad. And we are still accelerating. We're still going even quicker. What top speed are we going to get out of this thing? I guess we're about to find out, because there is the camera, 263.32, going downhill, 265, 266, 267, 267 out of this thing. That is mental. Can you get this thing to go any quicker? Go ahead, let me know in the comments. And also, don't worry about that BMW. I'm sure that'll be fine. Or rather, I hope so. In the meantime, it is time for us to do what we do best, and that is a drifting thing. So let's go ahead, throw in the Nismo Z and see just how well the 7th generation Nissan Z can cope with a little bit of sideways. Going out at 40,909 points on the first run, which is not too bad, and hopefully we'll get a decent run on the second attempt. Only this time, we'll be going back the other way. Okay, round number 2, let's go ahead and see how we do. 40,909 to beat. I doubt we'll beat that, but I know we'll get close, and we'll go out at a whopping 38,912. The way this thing's set up means it drifts actually surprisingly nicely. I'm happy. In the meantime, that is this video on the Nissan Z Nismo, and what a car it is. It's honestly fantastic. I definitely recommend going ahead and getting it for yourself. And it hopefully shouldn't take you too much time either, because like I said earlier, this is a seasonal championship reward, which means it'll be even easier to get than the Bentley Flying Spur, which will be up on the channel soon. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what you think to this thing if you got it already, and I'll go ahead and see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And as ever, thanks for watching. Tech out. See ya! Now it's time to grab a Bentley.